All right, so now the second great sign he wants to be committed to you is that there will be consistent communication. Now, I feel the need to mention that. I think a lot of things I'm going to mention, some of you may say this should be obvious. This should be common sense. Well, remember, common sense ain't always so common. And the reality is that when we are emotionally invested and we desire something very strongly, it becomes very easy for us to start making excuses for people. It becomes very easy for us to overlook red flags. So a lot of what's being said, a lot of what I say in all my videos aren't things you don't know or never heard. It's things that you may need to be reminded of. It's bringing it back into focus for you so that you realize, wait a minute, I have been overlooking this glaring issue and I need to address it and determine if I can move forward with this individual, all right? So going to the point of consistent communication. Now, I will say this, I'm a little biased with me saying that I understand sometimes people are busy. and I'm saying this because I know I'm a busy guy, but you know, we always say people make time for what they really want, all right? And though I do believe that some individuals have less time to give, they will still carve out time for someone they're serious about, all right? And so I've yet to see a man who wants to, again, the key is he wants to commit to you. Not he wants to just hang with you. Not he wants to have sex with you. He wants to commit to you. When that level of desire is there, he is willing to make consistent communication. Not just willing, he will initiate communication as well. He wants to see you. He wants to talk to you. He wants to draw closer to you. So he will find ways to create those opportunities. But I also feel the need to mention that you've got to remember that it's not only on him, all right? Far too many times I see women with the mentality of, if he's serious, he should be calling me. He should be initiating with me. They'll say, or you know, something will happen and they'll come to me. I haven't heard from this man in 3 days. I'm done. And I'll ask them, but did you reach out to him in those 3 days? And the answer is no. And some of you may say, well, nah, why should I have to reach out? Because this is a two-way street. We're trying to build something together. And there's some situations where the man could be really into you, want to commit to you. However, if he's feeling like you're not giving the energy that he's giving, that you're not interested in him as he is in you, then that can cause some men to pull back. Also, I have to mention this, and this is something that I plan on addressing more and more on my men's channel, is that unfortunately a lot of men are being taught some game playing, the same way some women are. So the same way women are being told, make him miss you and, ignore him for a couple of days and blah, blah, blah. Men are being told that too. And so what's happening is you have individuals who, even in being genuinely serious about someone, engage in these little tactics and games, hoping to gain back that person's attention. All right. So the man pulls away, not because he doesn't want to pursue you, but because he feels like he's coming across as thirsty and you're not, again, reciprocating. Now, this isn't to make excuses for the man doing that. That isn't in any way to say it's acceptable, because as I said, I'm going to talk more about to men, and as I do to you, that this is not the way for us to do things, all right? But I'm mentioning it for you to understand this is why you have to make sure you're doing your part. Now, when you can say you've been doing your part and this man pulls nonsense like that, that's different, all right? But if you have not done your part yet, you can't just put it all on him. This is also hitting my spirit because this was actually a discussion I had on my in my coaching program on one of my live Q&As, where one of the women had asked, I'm gonna try to make this a long story short. She's been living with her guy. He left the house. She's upset. She feels like you should never just leave. That's unacceptable. And his reason that he gave her for leaving was he's tired of the fighting. All right. And they need to work on things, but they can't work on things under the same roof. And she was trying to figure out how to handle this. And people were telling her, you ignore him, give him the cold shoulder. And I'm like, no, we don't do that if we're trying to resolve things. But I had to bring to her attention, you can't just be mad at him for reacting that way if you can't acknowledge that you were engaging in negativity with him. If you were handling those conversations in a way that was creating arguments, then you have to acknowledge your side too, all right? We have to remember that if we want a successful relationship, it takes two people. Do your part and hold yourself accountable, hold them accountable, all right? And when you know you can say, I've been doing what I'm supposed to do, taking the right approach, and they're not matching you, now we know they need to go. But bottom line is, communication will be consistent when that man wants to commit to you. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. Now, number 6 is he will be able to lead you with love. Now, listen, I know some of y'all may be a little sensitive to the topic